Welcome to the 2021 Golf Summer Series race number 10. Tonight, we're here at Daytona International Speedway for the summer's biggest race, the Firecracker 400. On this beautiful 4th of July evening, 35 drivers and teams are already at a chance at history by winning this iconic race. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Josh, your commentator for tonight's race, and hope everyone is having a happy 4th of July thus far. But right now, it does not get much better than this, because we're here in this world-class facility with a full crowd on deck, prime time, under the lights, that is just about ready for the biggest race of the summer. And just like our past two crown jewels this year, these drivers and teams are willing to do just about anything in order to win this important and historic race. Speaking of drivers, someone who wants to watch today includes your pole sitter, A.J. Robertson. He's been fast all week here so far. However, the question is, will it translate over to the nighttime, as these cars have only ever been in the daylight? Starting next to Robertson is one of the favorites, Herman the 3 car. He's won the last 3 out of the 4 crown jewel races, including the last one at Talladega, which also so happens to be a super speedway. In addition, Herman is also trying to make Hernandez Racing as the only team in Summer Series history to win every single crown jewel in the calendar. And lastly is your points leader, Jordan Stout in the 11. He's starting deep in the field in 31st. However, many drivers in this place in the past have successfully stayed in the back in order to avoid the big wrecks up front. Will it work out for this 11 team, as he and Pontiac are still chasing for that first win? But before we get started, let's take a look at your starting lineup and pre-race ceremonies. So as mentioned, on the pole was A.J. Robertson the 1 and Exzel Herman the 3. Row 2, Florida native Matthew Burnett and Kyle Salomon. Row 3, another Florida native, Matthew Hill and John McFadden. Row 4, Caleb Rose making his first ever Golf Summer Series start, and none against Scott. Row 5, Keisha Hutchinson and Dominic Payment, you won it from Rockingham a couple weeks ago. Row 6, Dan Matteillo and Nelson Reeves. Row 7, Kellen Baker and Random J. Row 8, Ross McTrain and Rain Vela. Row 9, Ryan Wilson and Owen Miles. Row 10, Herbert Solomon and David Johnson. Row 11, Jordan Forbes and Devin Payment. Row 12, Dan McTrain and Trey Smith. Row 13, Johnny Hernandez and Bradley Reim. Row 14, RC Gamer and Lipsy. Row 15, 2 teammates Nick Sant and Movement. Row 16, current points leader Jordan Stout and Jason Albert. Row 17, Brendan Beal and Brandon Carruthers. And starting last, your current Rookie of the Year point leader, Joe T in the 17. And now it is time for our pre-race ceremony, starting with our national anthem. And now it is time for the most famous words in motorsports.
Drivers, start your engine.
Let's take a look at the track info here for tonight's race. We're going to go 48 laps on this 2.5 mile long super speedway with 31 degrees of banking in the turns. And as for the weather here tonight, Daytona, 74 degrees Fahrenheit with 6 miles per hour towards the southwest. And of course, another big headline this week are all these beautiful patriotic paint schemes. And you can pick your favorite by scanning the QR code on the screen, which will link you to the Google form to pick your favorite patriotic paint scheme here tonight in tonight's race. The poll will close tomorrow at 11:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before we get started, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of our painters who helped us paint these beautiful patriotic paint schemes. Thank you to all of our first responders and our members in the military for keeping this country safe and awesome. You guys are truly the best. And of course, thank you to everyone who has supported the channel this past week. This Firecracker week was certainly not easy to make, but everyone supporting makes it all worth it. But for now, it's time to sit back and relax, as the summer's biggest race is about to begin. Here we go. Pace car down pit road. The sellout crowd on their feet here at Daytona as the 2021 Firecracker 400 is underway. And already going into turn number 1, Matthew Burnett on the inside, making it 3 wide for the lead with Ada Robertson and Hoodlum. Looks like Burnett will have the advantage out of turn number 1 into turn number 2. Down the backstretch, Burnett now up to the outside as here comes another Matthew from Florida. Matthew Hill in the 90, with help from rookie Caleb Rose in the 95. Coming out of turn number 4, the Florida native, Matthew Hill, will come to lead lap number 1 of 48 here in the Firecracker 400. As further back, they're 4 wide. Carruthers and Jordan Stout make contact, as both will go below the apron. Carruthers come back up the track with no contact. Wow, what a great save there for Carruthers for not making any additional contact with anyone else. I just got a replay of what exactly happened between the 11 and 4. Coming to us a trial there. They both touch. Both go out of the track below the yellow line. But because they both lost positions, they're not going to suffer any penalties. Again, just amazing how nobody else got any additional damage from that. You can see Carruthers well off the pace, possibly lose his draft, as Nelson Reeves in the 16 will come to lead lap number 2. Of course, remember on Friday night, Reeves won the Pepsi Showdown by only 2 1/1000ths of a second. The driver of that 16 car definitely looking for a weekend sweep, as on the inside it comes defending series champion Kellen Baker side by side for the lead. Caleb Rose in the 95 in the middle, also in the mix, but out of turn number 2, Kellen Baker with the advantage. Down the back straightaway, the field 3 deep behind. They're pretty much racing like it's the final lap right now, even though just 3 laps in. Baker for a good run into turn number 3 with Ross McTrain behind him, and then Baker's teammate Ryan Wilson behind him as well. And another good run there for the 21 off turn number 4 as they head towards the tri-oval. As your defending series champion will come to lead lap number 3 of the Firecracker 400. Baker on the outside trying to block Caleb Rose's run, but Ross McTrain is already peeking to the inside of Baker. Hopefully he won't make it 4 wide. As you see, Carruthers is actually catching up with the rest of the field. So that's definitely a good thing for that 4 car. As now Baker's teammate Wilson side by side with the 21 into turn number 2. Wilson with help from Herbert Solomon, the 67th the advantage as he come down the back straightaway. Wilson now up towards the middle. Here comes the 67 of Herbert Solomon, up from the 61 of Jordan Forbes as they head into turn number 3. Solomon for a good run as we got a 3-wide battle for the lead between 3 different Fords. Took out of 4, Herbert Solomon gets a great run and will clear the 2 Baker Racing cars. Herbert Solomon will come to lead lap number 4 of 48. Solomon up the middle, he's side by side with Forbes now for the lead. As Wilson gets a great run on the outside into turn number 1. As the pack is once again 3 by 3. In turn number 2, Jordan Forbes, well from Johnny Hernandez, another one of your favorites here tonight. Get a great run and will pass the 67 down the back straightaway. Forbes now on the outside, Hernandez in the middle, as on the inside here come the 2 Railfan Dodges of Lipsy and Bradley Reim, side by side for a great run into turn number 3. Lipsy and Reim continue to get a good run into turns 3 and 4 as we're 3 wide once again for the lead. Coming to us a trial, looks like Lipsy in the 9 will nearly beat Johnny Hernandez to the line. Lap number 6 of 48 this time by. The two railfront cars get another good run into turn number 1. And those two drivers definitely looking for a good night here at Daytona. As Reim came to this race 14th in points, while Lipsy came to this race all the way in 29th in points with only a single top 10, that being from Rockingham only a couple weeks ago. Lipsy now to the outside, Reim to the middle now, until Reim comes back on the inside to block Nixon side by side between the two railfan cars for the lead. The two Dodge teammates into turn number 4 are still side by side, but fell from Nixon in the 52, Bradley Reim to the lead. The 40 still side by side, but Reim will lead lap number 6 of 48. Reim now up to the middle of the track into turn number 1, as on Nixon has help from the 42 of RC Gamer, fellow Chevy. Both trying to chase down their first ever GSS wins. Nixon have the advantage down the back straightaway. Nixon now up in the middle now to block pole sitter Aiden Robertson. This is going to open the door for a great run for RC Gamer and Joe T into turn number 3. 3 by 3 once again for the lead. RC Gamer with the advantage into turn number 4. With help from the two Pontiacs of Joe T and Jordan Stout. Both Stout and Joe T are their leaders in their respective categories, as Joe T is currently the leader of the Rookie of the Year standings, while Stout is the overall point leader. In the one, once again, 3 by 3 for the lead. This time, RC Gamer in the middle. Joe T now on the inside. Stout picking his nose up to the inside a little bit, as he will push his fellow Pontiac to the lead off turn number 2. Joe T now up to the outside. Stout in the middle. This is going to open the door for the 80 car. Jason Albert fell from Brendan Beal in the 22. And look at Brendan Carruthers in that 4 car. Nearly lost the draft only, 5 laps ago. But already, he's already back inside this main pack in contention for the win. On board of pole sitter Ada Robertson in the 1, who's currently behind Jordan Stout. And because of how narrow this track is, there was very little room that separates these drivers from one another. You can see how much room there is between the 22 and the 17 away from Robertson. That time by Albert led, as Brendan Beal is going to give him a good shove into turn number 2, with Carruthers peeking his nose on the inside of the 22. Down the back straightaway, Albert now up to the outside to block Stout. Beal thinking about going to the middle to block Aiden Robertson. Looks like he will into turn number 3. Here comes Carruthers now for a great run. A help from Owen Miles in the 60. Great run continues into turn number 4 as we're 3 wide once again for the lead. Of course, Carruthers knows how to get around super speedways, as his 2 career GSS wins both came in super speedways, with of course his last one coming from Armory Digital to kick off the season a few months ago. Brendan Beal in the 22 trying to make it stick in the middle into turn number 1, but Carruthers also for a great run. With help from this time Owen Miles in the 60, who managed to keep the lead going into turn number 2. Off for 2 down the back straightaway. Carruthers will go up to block Brendan Beal in the 22. As now Owen Miles and Random J trying to build up a good run here into turn number 3. Will they do it? Yes, they will. Owen Miles with a huge run into turn number 3, side by side with Carruthers. Once in that 3 by 3 for the lead. But out of 4, Owen Miles to the lead here at Daytona. Coming to lap number 11 of 48. Miles up to the middle now. Random J now fell from Nunnigan Scott on the inside. As they're once again 3 by 3 for the lead heading into turn number 1. Random J with the advantage out of turn number 1. Looks like out of turn number 2, Random gets another great run and move up to the outside to block Carruthers. I'm not sure if that was a smart decision there for the 53. As here comes Nunnigan Scott and Dominic Payment with a great run into turn number 3. Of course, Dominic Payment is fresh off his first ever GSS win a couple weeks ago at Rockingham. And the gas station boy is trying to become only the 2nd driver in GSS history to win back-to-back races. Coming towards the trial, Nunnigan Scott to the lead. As we're coming to the middle to block his teammate Owen Miles. As now Dominic Payment side by side with Miles, and he's trying to get a good run off Nuttigan Scott. Yes, he will into turn number 1. 86 and 55 side by side. Into turn number 2, Dominic still with the lead of up from Kyle Salmon, the 36. On the back shoulder to 55, are coming to block the outside with Nuttigan Scott. And now Salmon and Matthew Burnett now trying to get a good run into turn number 3. Side by side behind Payment. Is now into turn number 4. Salmon gets a great run off Dominic Payment. Looks like we'll take the lead away from Dominic off turn number 4. Coming to the trial, looks like Kyle Salmon will lead the quarterway point in this race. That's behind him. Matthew Burnett is 4 wide with Robertson, Payment, and Matthew Hill. If you're literally anyone in this pack, you're just hoping Burnett sorts this out quickly, because this has the potential for being a complete disaster. Out of 2, Burnett is still 4 wide. Salmon goes up to block Miles. As on Matthew Hill to the lead here at Daytona. Contact between the 1 and 13 there. And down the backstretch, they're still 4 wide. I'm amazed Burnett's able to keep it safe this long, as the 1 and 13 are going to be inches apart still from one another. Burnett trying to go for the lead. 3 wide between the 90 and 16. Where all this chaos is floating, Dan Matteillo, who came this race 34th in points, will be lap number 13 here in the Firecracker 400. As Reeves and Burnett nearly touch. Reeves also nearly came down to Caleb Rose there. As they're still 4 wide into turn number 1, and finally, thank goodness, they're able to sort that out back to 3x3. And again, that was just a very, very scary incident for pretty much everybody in this field. If Burnett made maybe additional contact with someone else, that could have caused over half this field to be in the garage. I also got to wonder if Burnett maybe has a tire rub in that 13, because he was making a lot of contact with both the 1 and 16. Meanwhile, going into turn number 4, the Baker Racing drivers of Kellen Baker and Ryan Olsen get a great run on the inside. An attempt to pass both Caleb Rose and Nelson Reeves. Reeves goes up to the outside, Baker now to the middle. Ryan Wilson's on the inside, making a 3 wide once again for the lead. Take a look at cars somewhat deeper in the field here. Got Jason Albert, Joe T, Brendan Beal, Braden Carruthers, Dan McTrain. Haven't said much about him all day. Huddle in the 3, RC Gamer, all back here. I say at this moment right now, staying in the back to avoid the big wrecks isn't necessarily the worst strategy, because Matthew Burnett nearly caused a wreck up front, but not necessarily the best one either, because later on the second lap, of course, Jordan Stout and Braden Carruthers nearly wrecked, but thankfully both of them were able to save it. Meanwhile, up front, Herbert Solomon, the 67, back up to the lead with Jordan Forbes in the 61, as you come to lap number 16 of 48. Forbes once again a fault from Johnny Hernandez in the 46. Those two seem to be together this entire race so far, despite them not being in the same team or even the same car mate. But regardless, that's not stopping either one of them from getting back up front as they come off turn number 2. And yeah, definitely finding a drafting buddy, preferably one of your teammates, or just someone that can work with you throughout the entire race is really important, especially since this is one of the longest GSS races of the season. Down the backstretch, Forbes once again up to the outside. Much like we saw earlier in the race, Johnny Hernandez now in the middle, and Ross McTrain in the 35, both from the 2 Railfan Motorsport cars that have also been together throughout this entire race. Lipsy and Bradley Reim. Coming towards the trial, the field 3x3 once again, as it's time for a very special 4th of July version of Golf Summer Series Crank It Up. lap number 21 of 48 here in the Firecracker 400 as Joe T in blue will rocket past by the pack for the lead as Jason Albert is peeking his nose to the inside off turn number 2. Down the back straightaway, Joe T trying to block as he comes up to block the 42 of RC Gamer, and now back to the middle to block Jordan Stout. But all that's doing is allowing Jason Albert and Brendan Beal to build up a great run into turn number 3 as Stout and Albert trying to make it 3 wide for the lead between them and Joe T. Albert off turn number 4 for a great run, and cleared by both the Pontiacs to lead lap number 21. Down the front stretch into turn number 1, both the Pontiacs and Stout and Joe T get a good run. But Albert continues to hang on with Brendan Beal in the 22 right behind. Stout now shuffled to the outside by Nelson Reeves in the 16. As Albert tries to go up to the outside to block Stout in the 22. As now Brendan Beal is side by side of the 80 car. Brendan Beal currently 3rd in the point standings after losing 2 positions on the last race at Rockingham after being involved in a pit road incident. 22 team trying to pick up their 2nd win of the season as now Carruthers on the inside, a fault from Random J, is side by side of the 22 and 80. 3 wide for the lead once again, coming towards the tri-oval, as I believe Carruthers will be lap number 22. Of course, the big question coming up for these drivers and teams in the next couple laps will be pit stops. When will these drivers come in on the pit road and assume this race stays green? Which strategy would be the best one to execute in order to win this race? Carruthers now to the outside to block Brendan Beal, Random J down the middle to block Nelson Reeves until he moves back down the inside to block Nuttigan Scott as he gets a great run in the turn number 3, side by side between the 4 and 53. Brendan Beal trying to shuffle Carruthers to the outside in the middle now. And now Random J to the lead here in the Firecracker 400. As we come to lap number 24 or 48. Up until tonight, Random has actually not led a single lap in his entire season. So definitely very valuable bonus points here tonight for that 53 team who come in this race 4th in the point standings. Random now up to the outside to block Carruthers. Brendan Beal still in the middle with Nuttigan Scott still on the inside. Scott once again a fault from Dominic Payment back towards the lead here at Daytona. Will Scott go up to the middle block Brendan Beal? Looks like both him and Beal will go up to the outside as Dominic's thinking about going to the middle. Looks like he will to block Nelson Reeves as we come to forwards once again of Owen Miles, Kyle Salmon, and Matthew Hill. Coming to the halfway point here in the Firecracker 400, Nuttigan Scott will come to the line first. So far, a caution-free race. Definitely surprising with this being a super speedway and the racing we've had so far. Basically, we've been 3 wide this entire race, which is insane. That isn't to say that we've had some close calls here tonight so far. But as of right now, no cautions here in the World Center of Racing for the summer's biggest race. Out of turn number 2, looks like Salmon trying to forcing Owen Miles up into the outside. As Salmon now tucked in the middle, trying to get help there from, I believe, the 1 car of Robertson until Matthew Hill joins him into turn number 3. Dominic tried going down the middle. All he did was force Salmon to the inside. Probably the best place to be here at Daytona. As the top 3 are actually pulling away a little bit. We also saw some of the fastest laps. Braden Carruthers in the 4 car coming as the fastest lap, followed by Brendan Beal in the 22, Joe T in the 17, Jason Albert in the 80, and Nick Sand in the 52, round off your top 5 fastest laps. Definitely interesting to see a lot of cars who weren't really fast at all at qualifying have some of the fastest laps here tonight so far. Begs the question if their cars were prepared for the nighttime and or were they prepared to be in this draft. There's some of the Chevys and Matthew Burnett and Dan Matteillo back inside the picture. Both came this race towards the back half in points, looking for good nights here to turn around their seasons and definitely win the summer's biggest race. We'll do that as we're 3 wide once again for the lead between the forwards of Salmon, Miles, and Scott. As out of turn number 4, Kyle Salmon with the advantage. Coming back to us, the trial Kyle Salmon. Will we lap number 26 of 48. Caleb Rose now back on the picture of from Kellen Baker. Definitely kind of cool to see the defending series champion help out the rookie making his first ever start here at Daytona. As Rose into turn number 1 gets a great run off Salmon side by side for the lead between the 95 and 36. The outside wing kind of checked up there a little bit. Miles kind of falling back as Burnett will try moving up to the outside there. So will Salmon, the 36. as he's still side by side with Rose. Subsequently, both Baker and Rose move up to the middle to block Matteillo. As we come to 2 4s of Ryan Wilson and Herbert Stolman trying to get a girl into turn number 3 as Rose will come to block the 7 to 67 there. Coming out of turn number 4 as we got cars coming down pit road for the first time here tonight. Joining forwards to 61 leads the group as both the Hernandez cars with Hoodlum and Johnny Hernandez are down. 201 Indy drivers Jordan Stout and John McFadden also down. Nick Sand to 52 and Joe Teen to 17 also will join those cars as well. The rest of the pack stays out as most of this pack is actually kind of split apart from one another. Besides that main pack, there are still 3x3. And of course, the $1 million question for these drivers still on the track. When would they come in? Would they come in this time by, or will they wait the next time by? Meanwhile, this kind of small pack here, still 3x3 as Baker comes on the block and Matteillo in the middle. As they're going racing cars of Solomon, Scott, and Miles all on the inside. Who's going to come in here as your Jacoan cars come in? Oh, Manfred Burnett gets turned coming down the pit road. Caution will come out as the 13 cars spin in front of everybody coming down pit road as Trey Smith in the 6-6 make contact. Lipsy in the 9 and RC Gamer in the 42 with damage. And our first caution tonight could have come out at the worst possible time for these drivers who are still on the track, as they'll have to restart behind all these drivers that are currently on pit road. And you can see the heavy damage on the 42 of RC Gamer. Same can also be said for Lipsy in the 9. Manfred Burnett, that car is done for the night. That car is smoking towards the back. Trey Smith in the 66 also with heavy damage. However, as for everyone down pit road right now, this caution is going to be a huge break for them as they will restart in front of the drivers that are still on track, led by Kellen Baker and Ryan Wilson, as they're going to take on instant replay to see what caused their first caution tonight. So this happened in this main pack as several drivers were coming down pit road. So it looks like Salomon just made contact with Manfred Burnett, just turned him into the wall. Pretty decent whip there for the 13, since Burnett spinning in front of everybody coming down pit road as Trey Smith, Lipsy, hit the 13 and RC Gamer with nowhere to go in that 42. Scoring board of Kyle Salomon. And definitely turned Burnett into the wall. And the 36 car also has a pretty decent amount of damage, so it could possibly affect him throughout the rest of this race. Scoring board of Trey Smith. Spins happening in front of him, tries to avoid it, but just nowhere to go. Which comes back down onto the entry lane. Heavy damage to that 66. Going for Keisha Arnson, who nearly avoided all of this. Oh my god, he was probably inches away from Burnett there. That was a great miss for the driver that came in this race second in points. As now here come the cars that have yet to pit down pit road. Kellen Baker, Ryan Wilson, Dan Matteillo, Caleb Rose, Braden Carruthers, Devin Payment, and Jason Albert make up the 7 drivers that have yet to do the pit stops until now. It looks like all these drivers will follow the same strategy as everyone else, doing 4 tires and gas. As I got to fly by some of these drivers that are actually restart in front of these drivers currently down pit road. And here's the rest off pit road. Kellen Baker, Ryan Wilson first 2 off, followed by Brittany Carruthers, Devin Payment, and Carol Brills barely beating Dan Matteillo to the line. Anyways, under caution for the first time here in the Firecracker 400. We'll be right back with you guys after this. Brand new Patriotic Summer Series merch is now available on Animal Crossing New Horizons. Be sure to click the link in the description below for more details. As we're looking back to Daytona for the Firecracker 400, we're about to go back green after a spin involving Manfred Burnett in the 13 as he was coming down pit road. He's out of the race alongside Trey Smith in the 66 and RC Gamer in the 42 as they both got collected up in that mess. In addition, Lipsy in the 9 and Kyle Salmon in the 36 were also involved, both getting damage from that. So definitely won't be surprised if they both drop back to the field during this restart. Currently, your top 3 is Herbert Solomon in the 67, trying to chase down his first ever Golf Summer Series win. Brendan Beal came to this race third in points, is in second. And None Against Scott, who's also trying to get his first ever GSS win, round off the top 3. And here we go, pace car back down pit road. As we're back in the green here in the Firecracker 400. And you saw immediately there, Nutting and Scott and Brad remove to the outside as Scott goes back down the inside. Side by side with Beal, Keisha Arnson, the 24 behind Scott as they go into turn number 1. SA takes about a lap or so for these drivers to get back to full speed. As Scott is now side by side with his Draconian racing teammate down the back straightaway. As this pack is trying to form once again. Into turn number 3, Scott with the advantage. Richardson peeking his nose in there on the inside. David Johnson in turn movement in the 5. Two drivers we haven't really talked about too much here tonight. Also in this mix. Coming back towards the start-finish line, they're 3 wide further back. As Nutting and Scott will lap number 33. And besides Trey Smith, who I mentioned is out of the race, every single Draconian racing car is in this main pack. As Miles is 3 wide with Brad Reim and Dan McTrain stuck on the outside. Here come the rest of the cars joining this main pack up front. Keisha Arnson and folks from David Johnson on the inside. Trying to get a good run into turn number 3. Looks like they will. 24 and 66 side by side once again. Richardson has already, of course, won at the GSS level 2 times last year. But besides chasing down his first crown jewel, he's also going to get Pontiac's first ever win here in the Summer Series, as that new program has so far been really fast this summer. Coming to lap number 35 of 48. 3 wide once again for the lead. It comes movement on the inside. Vote from Dan McTrain in the 37. There's Nick Sant, Jordan Stout, Hoodlum. Now joined this main pack, Rain Vale as well in the 8 car. Two of the Baker cars, Baker and Ryan Wilson, also back here, moving back up towards the front. Devin Payment in the 88, another driver that's been relatively quiet here tonight. He came to this race 31st in points. Random J, of course, was up front earlier. Dan Matteillo came to this race 34th in points. Same could also be said for Brandon Carruthers, came to this race 19th in points, as I mentioned earlier in the race. Jason Albert came to this race 12th in points, and Caleb Brill is in his first GSS start. And I got some cars well off the drive here. Kyle Salmon, the 36, and Lipsy. Both drivers, as I mentioned, were involved in the Matthew Burnett spin, and also Joe T in the 17. Possibly got stuck behind these two, the 36 and the 9, and is trying to get past by both of them as he looks to the inside of Salomon. Meanwhile, back to this main pack that is back to 3 deep and 3 wide for the lead as the 61 gets a great run into turn number 3 as he's now side by side with both Robertson and McTrain as they come to turn number 4. Coming to lap number 37 of 48. Being pretty close to the end of this race here at Daytona. And as you may notice in this main pack now, there's some drivers who haven't really said too much here tonight, like John McFadden, David Johnson, Dan McTrain, all looking to earn valuable points as we head towards the second half of the season. Down the back straightaway, Floors back up to the outside to block the 1 car of Robertson. As McFadden stays committed to the inside, he's thinking about going in the middle. Looks like he will to block David Johnson. As here come the 35 and 52 into turn number 3 on the inside. Are you seeing how well these Chevys, even on the same team, how well they work together in this draft? As McTrain gets a great run out of turn number 4, 3 wide still with McFadden and Forbes as you come to lap number 38 of 48, 11 laps to go here in the Firecracker 400. Going into turn number 1, Ross McTrain right up against John McFadden on the left side. Nixon looking to the inside. This could possibly be another 4 wide scenario. Like I saw earlier with Matthew Burnett, looks like they're able to quickly sort that out into turn number 2, thankfully, as McFadden will drop back to the outside. Down the back straightaway, Ross McTrain and Nixon now side by side. Here comes Jordan Stout and Rain Vale on the inside now into turn number 3. As they make it 3 wide for the lead between the 2 Chevys. Looks like off of 4, Jordan Stout with the advantage. Coming to lap number 39 of 48. Only 10 laps to go here in the Firecracker 400. Ross McTrain on the inside trying to get a run. as they go into turn number 1. But then inside with Stout and Vale continue to hold as they head into turn number 2. Ryan Wilson peeking his nose on the inside of Vela. As Stout down the back straightaway will come to block Nixon, or he tries to block Nixon. But there's not enough room there to complete the block. As Stout now is forced in the middle, here comes Reim Vale on the inside, making it 3 wide into turn number 3. Nixon laying back on the outside as Vale and Stout are so side by side as they head into turn number 4. Check out of 4, Reim Vale with the advantage here at Daytona as you come to lap number 40 of 48. 9 laps to go as Random J is 4 wide of Matteillo in the middle. Out of the trial pool, the 53-14 made contact on the apron. Just able to save it, but come back onto the field, making it 5 wide for the lead. This is not going to end well on the inside as they make contact with Wilson and sends both of them back into the pack. And oh, Nixon goes flipping. And we knew going into this race, drivers were willing to do just about anything to win this race, and we sure saw that happen just now. A lot of good cars with so much damage. There's the Hernandez cars of Johnny and Hoodlum, as their chances at the Firecracker 400 tonight are over. Some of the cars able to escape. Jordan's down in the 11, Nelson Reeves in the 16, Caleb Rose. As everybody else in the pack were the ones that at least can drive away from the accident scene in the and the exit of turn number 2. Dan Matteillo, Owen Miles, David Johnson, Jordan Forbes. Man, just so many good cars all torn up in this huge wreck late in the Firecracker 400. As we can take a look at the instant replay to find out why. So all this started coming off turn number 4 on lap number 39. Watch the blue 53 of Random J. So Random here goes next to Johnson. Matteillo sees the door open on the inside. Makes it 4 wide. Random and comes down on Matteillo. The two make contact. Both able to save it, much like Jordan Stout and Carruthers earlier. And then after they save it, they both come up next to the leaders, making it 5 wide. But there's just not enough room at this track to do that. Then Wilson comes down Random and Matteillo and just back onto the rest of the field. Just nowhere for a lot of these drivers to go. As Nixon gets flipped over by Brendan Beal in the 22. Let's go on board with Dan Matteillo here. Random definitely came down on Matteillo. Sent him and Random back out of the track. They come back onto the track. Below the apron, Matteillo on the yellow line. There's just not, again, there's not enough room there for 5 cars to do that. He sent both from spinning. Let's go on board with John McFadden. Yeah, just nowhere to go for the 89. Just hold your breath and hang on. Let's go on board with Nelson Reeves. As we're somehow able to get through that. Holy crap. That was an insane missed error for the Pepsi Showdown winner. Take with this in slow motion. And yeah, once Wilson made contact with Random and Matteillo, which is all over for everyone in front of him. As Matteillo actually went airborne a little bit as he came in front of Brendan Carruthers. Bradley Ream in the 40, he was up towards the front all day with damage. Dan McTreen, I think, was able to escape that in the 37. Same could also be said for Keyshawn Arch in the 24. Another driver up towards the points. And like those guys on the inside were going to miss it, but Carruthers hits Kellen Baker, and then Matthew Hill hits Brendan Beal subsequently afterwards. And here's Nixon coming back onto the track before getting hit by Carruthers again, and down on the apron. Beal turns back onto the track and then hits the 52, sending him airborne. Flipping there for a brief second. Dominic Payment also with damage. Johnny Hernandez there, you see him spinning in front of his son Hoodlum. And my God, just such a shame to see so many good and fast race cars torn up in this incident that was ultimately avoidable. Anyways, under caution here in the Firecracker 400 for the big one. We'll be right back for the finish of this race. Next up, the Golf Summer Series starts off as Midwest Swing at the Chicagoland Speedway for our first day tonight and mile and a half of the season. That'll be on his channel Saturday at 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. Meanwhile, here in the Firecracker 400, we're about to go back green after a massive pileup in turns 1 and 2 that, get this, involved 25 cars. That is unbelievable. And as of right now, 24th on down are all out of the race. In addition, some of the cars that were involved in the big one are still on the track, like Greenville in the 8 car, Hoodlum in the 3, Random J, albeit with heavy damage. Currently, Jordan Stout, Nelson Reeves, and Caleb Rose are your top 3, both from able to get out of that wreck unscathed. Movement to 5, Dan McTrain, Keisha Ernsten, Devin Payment, or some other drivers who also got that unscathed. As we're back in the green here in the Firecracker 400, only 4 laps to go. And Jordan Stout with a great restart, and you can just see how slow Rainville in the 8 car is. Heavy left and right side damage to that 8 car, as both the 5 and 37 rocket pass by the 8, as she's going to hold up Keisha Ernsten in 24. Looks like Richardson able to quickly get back down on the inside. As we're down the back straightaway, Nelson Reeves gets a great run off Stout as he looks to the inside of Stout for the lead. 16 and 11, both trying to chase down their first ever Summer Series win side by side in the turn number 3. Looks like Reeves with the advantage, with Stout having almost no help at all, as movement to 5 goes up to the outside to help his former teammate. Nelson Reeves to the lead here at Daytona, trying to win his 2nd race of the week, coming to 3 laps to go. Nelson Reeves up to block Stout on the inside on the front stretch, as in the 1, here comes Keisha Ernsten in the 24, peeking his nose on the inside. As Reeves pulls away a little bit from this pack, as they're 3 wide behind. I saw something very similar at the Pepsi Showdown of Nelson Reeves in the 16, how he's able to pull away from the main pack and manage to hold on for the win in that race. Will we do the same here tonight in the Firecracker? 3 wide once again behind, almost 4 wide of Richardson, still on the inside, peeking his nose on Dan McTrain. Unfortunately, able to sort it out as you come to 2 laps to go here at Daytona. Stout all over the back bumper of Nelson Reeves as they continue to pull away from the main pack in the turn number 1. Stout looking to the inside of Reeves in the turn number 2. Richardson behind, also doing the same to Dan McTrain. Off for turn number 2 down the back straightaway to 16-11, still side by side, with both their teammates right behind. On board of Keisha Ernsten. And despite the 11 and 24 being 1-2 in points, they're still teammates at the end of the day. That 24 car is the best possible person for Stout seeing his rearview mirror, but the same could also be said for Nelson Reeves and his teammate Dan McTrain. Atlanta Indy versus RC Motorsports for the win here in Daytona, as this time by white flag. 1 lap to go here in the Firecracker 400. That time by was Stout on the inside with the advantage over Nelson Reeves, but going towards turn number 1, Nelson Reeves gets a great one on the outside. Stout and Reeves still side by side through turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Are going to see another photo finish this week here at Daytona. Down the backstretch for the final time, Nelson Reeves has a slight advantage over Jordan Stout. Stout and Richardson now trying to get a good run into turn number 3. Will they do so? Yes, they will. Dead heat once again in the final turns here in the Firecracker 400. Reeves still with the advantage going into turn number 4. Can Stout get another good run here? Coming towards the checkered flag. They're side by side once again. But Reeves currently has the advantage as Stout goes to the middle, but it's not going to be enough. Nelson Reeves wins the Firecracker 400. Congratulations to Nelson Reeves and RC Motorsports for their first career GSS wins, and also congratulations to Nelson Reeves for sweeping the weekend here at Daytona, as he of course won the Pepsi Showdown, but now he also take the Firecracker with it as well. So a great week all in all for the driver of the 16. Well, let's take a look at the finishing results and point standings after the night's crazy race. So here we go. For the second time this week here at Daytona, Nelson Reeves finishes first. Again, a huge kudos to the driver of the 16 for winning both the Firecracker and Pepsi Showdown in dramatic fashion. Also, a big congratulations to RC Motorsports for their first win in the Summer Series. Definitely much deserved for that team, as they've been struggling for the most part in their inaugural season. Jordan Stout finished second, actually had the most laps here tonight of 7, so kudos to the 11 team for getting very valuable bonus points here tonight. Dan McTrain finishes third, good run for the 37 team that's also been struggling this year. Finishing 6th is the rookie Caleb Rose in his first start, so definitely a great showing there for the new driver, the number 95. Devin Payment finishes 7th. Joe T finishes 8th despite being held up by lap cars again on that final restart. Still managed to get a top 10. Dominic Payment finishes 9th, and Kyle Salmon, despite getting damage earlier with Matthew Burnett, will round off the top 10. And now for the point standings after a crazy Firecracker 400. And as you can see, Stout and Keith Henderson still at the top 2. This time 9 points separate the two ONE80 teammates. And you can see third on down have a gap of at least 30 points between them and Jordan Stout. So those two ONE80 teammates definitely have a good cushion heading into the next race. Joe T is the highest of those drivers in third in points, move up three positions. Random J still in 4th, tied with Joe T for the 3rd spot, but Joe T currently has the advantage due to his number of top 10s. Brendan Beal down to 5th, 37 points back from Jordan Stout. Dominic Payment also 37 points back in 6th. Nelson Reeves back inside the top 10 points in 7th after winning, 40 back from the leader. Movement in 8th, 43 back. Kellen Baker in 9th, 44 back. And running off the top 10 to total him in the 3. 46 points, almost a full race behind the point leader. So pretty much everyone in this point standings are just hoping that Stout and or Richardson have bad runs coming up in these next few races. So next up, race number 11, the Summer Series will kick off as Midwest Swing at the Chicagoland Speedway for the Hyatt Regency 400. In addition, this will also be our first mile and a half and day to night race of the year. Delmar's Channel Saturday at 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. These mile and a half races in the Summer Series have always produced good action, so definitely one you don't want to miss. But as always, y'all, thank you guys for watching this race. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and have a happy 4th of July.